All right, good morning, folks. And yeah, it's Tuesday, and I'm streaming. Uh, cats woke me up at like 5:30 in the morning. Ended up being wide awake by 6, so I decided, why the fuck not? Let's get some stuff done. Um, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun today because I have discovered I need to add an extra shot in between some of my other shots. So yeah, I think a brand new scene will go well this morning. So for those who joined me today, thank you. Appreciate it. Otherwise, yeah, let's jump right in. Um, so yeah, this morning I'm going to make a brand new scene with some existing animation, and then sort of put it together as a series of shots because I realized between the previous shot I did a few weeks ago and the one I'm working on now, um, they don't hook up. So I need to make something that I need to make a scene that bridges the gap between the two. So I'm gonna do like a top down sort of cinematic shot for this new one, but I'm gonna use some existing animation. So I'm going to use my very first scene as as a reference for the animation. So completely different setup to the ones was working on the last couple of days, but I don't want to I'm going to hide away the wolf, and I don't want to have it on a rounded plane. So I actually got some plans for how to do this. So I'm going to save this as it's now going to be shot 16. This is going to be shot 16 now. So and the next one, the one that I was working on yesterday, will be shot 17. So I've got to be aware of that as well. So this case would be run, top down run. So I'm going to play with this idea, and hopefully it looks pretty cool. The idea is that she's going to be running down a few streets, but from a top down view, so I can like get the viewer to understand the direction she's running. I think it's really important that I do that with these shots. So I actually don't need her to run on a sphere. That's how it is on the first shot to fake the perspective. I'm gonna um I'm gonna go ahead and have her run on just on the flat ground. So what I can do is select her body, and I'm going to, I think there was a constraint, yeah. So I'm going to remove this follow path. I am going to hide the rain for now because I don't want to see that. And again, if you're interested in seeing, asking any questions, feel free to ask away about anything really. And yeah, I'll be happy to answer anything. So you can see here, this is how the shot was originally, and now she's running on the spot because it's just a loop. And I didn't want to reanimate the run. That's dumb. So I'm gonna reuse the animation for that. But I got some cool ideas on how to frame this shot. So I'm gonna go to View, Camera to View, and where's my camera? All right, I think this is the right camera. Let's make sure. Yep, that's the right camera. I'm going to delete these keyframes because it's a brand new scene. And the shot will now be from top down. So it's going to be very high up. Because what I want to do is, yeah, basically I'm going to do a series of animation shots where she's going in different directions. Or it could be just one shot. I'm not sure. It depends. We'll see. I have this idea, a grand idea of how to go about this, but we'll see how we go. Gonna remove that circle. Gonna remove this crap here because it's not relevant anymore. So I can delete it or I can just hide it away. So I think I might just it might be worth just hiding it away. What's it in? It's in Puddles gas pipe. I can hide that away. Sweet, great. This is what this is what makes Blender so useful very quickly. It's just the collections. I love them. So I'm going to make a new plane for the environment. So in this case, I'm just going to put it inside my environment layout, and whoops, fuck. I'm going to make sure that I'm scaling from the right spot, of course. And I'm actually going to use the same material as this round cube, but on this. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag this material onto there, and now it has the same material, and we're good to go. Yeah, so there's a reason why I'm doing this, because, as I mentioned again, oh, that looks sick. That already looks cool. Okay. Oh, man. I like it when things just work out a little bit by accident. I kind of like that as it is. Yeah, the reason is yeah, I want to get some nice artistic, I guess you can say framing would be the best way of putting it, to set up the next shot. So in the previous shot, I animated it a few weeks ago. I did the animation already. I guess thumbs up if you want to see some of the animation as it was rendered. If you want to see it, thumbs up, and I'll show you what I mean. Because I've already shown it on the streams before, but I haven't shown it rendered. So if you want to see it, thumbs up, or put a little note in the chat, and I'll show you what I mean. So you can see here what I fuck, I forgot to keyframe the bloody thing. Yeah, cool. All right, let's get a couple more. Let's get a couple more, and I'll show it. I'll reveal what I've done with the shots. Let's get rid of that keyframe. So what I'm trying to do is just kind of give her a sense of scale about where she is. So how does she look when she's running from top down? Kind of looks a bit weird, but it will look fine once she moves, I think. I might tilt her body forward as well, just to give her a bit more silhouette. But what I'm going to do is, let's just make sure that this is also, I'm going to give this a longer length. That looks a bit better there. I'm going to give it a 100 millimeter lens. So the longer the lens, the flatter it becomes. So there's that. And yeah, I think I will show you what I mean by hooking up the shots, because it's fun to look at. It's fun to see. So I'm going to bring that up a little bit more now. So I just want to show what I mean by that. Let's remove some rotation there, remove some rotation here. And on Z, it's going to be 180 degrees. It can even be probably 0. No? Is it look right? No, it doesn't look right. 180 degrees is what I need. So I really just want to show her running down the street from top down. And I want to give it a sense of almost like claustrophobia, I guess you can say. But that's looking pretty sick. I might actually repeat that pattern of light as well. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna alt duplicate that, hoping that it can inherit the which light is it that's affecting it? I'm not sure which light's affecting this scene. Probably the yeah, cool. All right, I know which one it is. So that one is 259 watts. This can also be off of a turn off the rotation on that. Oops, wrong one. Put that there. Let's see what the light difference is there. So that one is 259 watts, 195, and the lights are completely different. So that makes sense there as well. So let's just delete those. It's too bad we can't array lights. I wish you could array lights in Blender. Like, there should be modifiers for like other stuff like lights. That'd be sick. I'm going to duplicate that. like so. And I might pull that camera back even further. So the camera's pretty far up, but I might pull that back a bit further as well. Really get a sense of scale here. Yeah, so if I open up Premiere, you'll be able to see what I mean with the shot. In that it doesn't quite hook up, but it's looking pretty sick. It's looking pretty sick. Let that load in. So this is the shot that I was animating yesterday. I did a render test. It's not done yet, but I wanted to take a break from it anyway. But it's mainly these two shots here. These two shots that actually matter. Like when she leaves the previous street in the hole that she blew up. The it looks so sick. It's also animated on 2s now, which I'm really happy about. It looks really cool. So what I have an issue with is that she leaves the shot going from right to left on the camera into the corner. And then the next shot, the camera's kind of going in. Yeah, exactly. It breaks the 180 rule. So I need to hook it up. So what I'm going to do is make a shot which hooks it up. Exactly right. So it breaks the 180 rule. They're completely different areas anyway, so they're not meant to be consistent. But for the viewer, it's gonna be confusing. So thank you. So I need to hook it up. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's actually just a displacement and a toon shader with Oh, thank you, Kelly Johnson, and thanks for the super chat, by the way, as well. Appreciate it. So yeah, looking forward to hooking that up. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to close that now because I don't want to eat up my resources. I'm going to basically animate a top-down view of her running down the street, and I think I'm going to make it look really cool with that as well. So actually going to move these lights somewhat. I'm actually going to copy these lights, not copy them, parent them to that light here. That way, at least when I move the fucking lights, it will follow through the light lamppost. So that looks cool. Oh, thank you. Cheers. Yeah, it's a pretty effective little toon shader, I gotta admit. For what it does, for the amount of complexity compared to other ones, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not sure why this light. What's the angle on this one? Radius is 0.01. They're exactly the same. Contact shadows. Let's turn those on as well. Let's see. I'm going to duplicate that light too and move that across over here. There we go. I think that looks pretty cool. All right. Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Cheers. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, it's been really fun to do it as well. It's great to it actually feels good to actually make progress. I know it sounds weird, but it's been years in the making, me putting this shit together, and it's good to actually animate shots, and I'm getting close to the end game of this with this first minute and a half, and I think I'm going to be pretty happy with the end result. I'm looking forward to showing more, I guess you can say. Well, yeah, there is a lesson. There's the YouTube video. The YouTube video goes into pretty big depth about how to use a shader. I'd say check that out. So yeah, I'll recommend checking out that video because there's not much else to say about it. It's really just about really playing with the shader and working with it rather than just experiment with the shader. So yeah, here we go. What I want to do here, and I want to keep that rain going there as well. So there's a lot going on. It's kind of hard to frame things when everything's so far away without the shader without the rendering preview turned on. So what I'm going to do is put in the buildings. So I'm actually going to copy some buildings across now. So I'm actually going to bring in. This is where having an asset library really would help, but I was too lazy to make one. I should have made one for these buildings, even though they're not that fancy. Knowing the normals, yeah. So normals, again, it's a whole different video on just normals, and I would recommend checking out um, some videos on normals. Let me just show you what I mean. Oh, thank you. I'm glad they worked out for you. Let's see. Normals, Blender, Tune. There's some really cool stuff on optimizing your normals everywhere. So I'd say Royal Skies has a really good video on doing that. Optimizing normals. There's a really cool plugin that I found as well called Abnormal, which lets you align normals. And I did it with the new Eevee. I'm going to do it with the current Eevee as well. Abnormal lets you edit your normals and smooth out yeah, definitely check out Cody Winch's GitHub. And I'm also using his fucking Spider-Verse animation offset plugin for my animating on 2s as well. So check out this plugin and look at the videos online on using Abnormal plugin. Because these videos would do a much better job than me in explaining it. This one's really good too. Normal editing, this one here, I use this one and this one for editing, like learning how to edit my normals. So these are probably really good. This one here as well, and BNPR really talks about it in detail, how to edit normals. So check those out; they're really good. But yeah, something to look into because it can be a whole video on its own, basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these buildings, or one of them, or both. Let's just do both. Copy that and paste it in. This is an inefficient way of doing it, but I think for the purposes of this clip, I think it will be fine. Because what I want to do is just make. I'm actually gonna fake the perspective as well, because I'm actually going to grab the buildings and just fake it and make it look like I guess almost like they're traveling upwards. I don't know. It's weird. I want to fuck around with the perspective. It feels wrong being on Twitch. It's like there's a reason why I went down the YouTube route. Honestly, I find using YouTube a lot easier compared to Twitch, especially with streaming. I don't know why. So yeah, I'm gonna tweak the perspective on the buildings here, just so I can get some corner edges there, and maybe it might be worth playing with a bevel, and adding some bevels there to almost strengthen those edges. Just give it some information there. Like I said, I'm not going for realism for this sequence because it's not meant to be. So that's the glory that is using minimalism, I guess you can say, or graphic designs, I guess you can say, to drive the animation. I'm going to play with the normals a little bit. I'm going to copy the modifier from here. Hello. And push that through. Yeah, so just gonna keep on. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see if it's, where's the camera? The camera's pretty high up. Yeah, so just gonna push those. I'm gonna push those all the way up to line up with the camera. How do you get the noise in the lighting? That's actually through the textures, through the material itself. So the material has a noise on it, a noise modifier on it. Yeah, pretty simple. If you look at the road, I think it's a noise or a texture or something. I can't remember now. But principal volume. That's not correct. I'm not sure why it has principal. Oh, right, wrong material. Road. Oh, I'm in world mode. All right, objects. So I think I added some. Yeah, it's just some like concrete texture on there. Yeah, well, it's just about basic graphic design, really. Just using basic shapes and stuff like that. So I'm going to bring that in like so. I might going to just line that up like this. And you know, with these buildings, it might even be worth changing the color a little bit, just like what's the best way of putting it? Just to offer more contrast. So, for instance, in this building here, you can see that these two buildings are darker already. But what I would do, I'm almost tempted to make it completely black and play with that. Play with like the idea of contrasting elements. And thank you for the compliment, by the way, Kelly. So something like that would be pretty cool. And then what I want her to do is just run down the road, turn right, and that could be enough for the shot. Actually, it probably would be. Actually, I was thinking about doing like multiple shots of her running down different mazes of roads. So that could also be actually 1, 2, 3. I want to do a 1, 2, 3 motion. So this could be 1, and then there'll be another shot where she kind of I'm gonna reset the animation, have her running around the other one, and then another one. So I might actually I could mix in some gloss, but the gloss is already there. It's just really about the angle of light. So playing with that will also be a thing. I'm kind of liking this. I'm going to save this. I'm going to move this across a little bit first. Yeah, because what I want to do, let's see. I'm tempted to just have her like run in a straight line at first, and then have another shot of her running down another one. I'm not sure. Will it look cool? Just thinking. Let's see. I do like the lines here, the straight up lines of that, and I will have rain coming down as well, so there's that as well. Thinking. Shit. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will do this. I'm going to grab. This will be the environment 2. I'm going to call this one environment 2, new collection, env2. And I'll put that in the inset there. I'm going to duplicate this collection. Call this one env1. I'm going to hide the original one. And then I'm just going to, I'm going to delete these. Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's what I like as well. I like the color. I like the pattern that I just created there. So that's why I'm kind of going with this idea. So why? This one's Y as well. So I'm going to copy that. There we go. Line those up. I might actually do this. There we go. That looks cool. I like that. That looks sick. All right, cool. All right, that one works, I think. I'm going to do something like that first. Yep, textured planes again. I'm not going to do anything else than that because it's a waste. Otherwise, it's a waste of complete waste of resources. Otherwise, I mean, technically, I could have even done it in After Effects with the rain, but I chose not to. Yeah, cool. I think this will work well. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the subscription, Slapco. Appreciate it a lot. Yeah, the color palette in this sequence is going to be a lot different to the rest of the film if I ever get around to making it. But yeah, this is I wanted to make it distinctive. It was actually an accident when I was just blocking out color. So there's the first shot. I think the next shot will be like this, where she can turn. And then yeah, I'm gonna composite it like almost like three different shots put together. So I think that's gonna be kind of cool. I would say texture painting in Blender is a pain in the ass. All things considered, great for small things. I'm gonna do a video on that in the next day or so on texture painting fruit for the still life video series, but it's good for small changes. It's not. I wouldn't say like it's great for, and it's good for stylized, but at the same time, it's something about it that shits me. It's slow and clunky. Basically, it doesn't perform very well. If that makes sense. Good for low poly. It's great for low poly. Not great for high poly. It's really bad for low poly, high poly, and high res textures. So there's that too. So what I'm going to do, I'm basically going to fake shots in this one shot. Basically going to repeat the action once I do the movement and then have a weave around. So I got one shot, I got another shot. I need to think of another one to emulate. So basically I want to have three different kinds of animation. So there's this one where she will turn right and then it will hook into the next shot, which is I think going to be really cool. And then we have this shot as the start shot. So I need something that's in the middle and I'll figure that out as I go along. So starting with this one, when you tweak the shader, yeah. Thank you for the super chat again. Appreciate it. I had to do a lot of texture baking in Project. That system needed a new flow. Yeah. I would say Simple Bake will do a good job of that. I always use Simple Bake. All right, cool. So I'm going to set the preview. I think it's already on Simplify. Let's just see. It's already in 0. Maxed out. Yeah, it's all good. So hopefully it runs all right. She's running fine. Fast enough for what I need. So what I'm going to do is basically, I'm not going to move the camera, but I will move the buildings and then move her around as she, yeah. Well, I am planning, just for you, Kelly, I will make I got an idea for a tutorial series specifically for that need of yours. You've been asking a lot for it and you've been very generous. So, I got a pretty cool idea for doing that fan art. So think modeling from scratch without sculpting and Blender. So I think that will be worthwhile a video, and that'll be a mega video as well. So similar to the Maya one, I got an idea of that. So yeah, what I'm going to do is animate her body. So let's just move over to the timeline. So I'm going to animate this global control here. Let's see, timeline. I'm going to move her right up the screen, and it's just going to be a linear animation. Daniel Bryan, not sure who that is. And I'm going to have it animate over the course of probably, I reckon it'll be 2 seconds. Let's go to 50 frames or 48 frames and see what happens when I move her off screen. That's annoying. Let's just remove those keyframes. It's actually too slow. So it'd probably be even less. A second, maybe, of animation. No, that's too... I'm not sure if it's actually too slow, too fast. Let's have a look. So we need to get closer. Let's see where her foot's moving. Yeah, she's moving way too slow. Too fast, sorry. So I need to actually increase the speed here. Delete these keyframes. Let's see how this looks. So yeah, moving. Let's have a look at how it looks close up instead. So, oh fuck, that is almost perfect. Holy shit, what a guess. Her foot is planted, man. So good. Only a slight bit of sliding there, but otherwise it's really, really good. Only problem is that it's not linear, I don't think. So let's have a look and see. How detailed are my storyboards? They depend. With the storyboard that I have for my screenplay, it's pretty detailed overall. Like it has layout and shots and stuff like that. I do use I don't use NLR. I use the graph editor for this one. So basically, it's just looping in the graph editor. I could use NLR, but I haven't used it in this case. I will use NLR for, just to answer your question, I will use NLR for converting this animation to 2s. So I'm not going to bake down the animation in this case, but I will use the NLR for converting it to 2s. Because I realized that the Cody Winch's Spider-Verse, I guess you can say, plugin, the one that offsets animation, works with actions. It works with without breaking down the action. So that's sick. So I'm going to use that. So let's have a look and see how this looks from the top. So yeah, that's looking pretty cool. I'm not sure how, like, that is around, what's 24 divided by 111? Oh, 111 divided by 24. Oh, come on, Windows. Fucking hell. Where's the divide button? It's been a while. I don't even think they have a divide button on a keyboard. Oh, gosh. All right. That's, 111 divided by 24. 4.5 seconds. It's a pretty long shot. So I might just animate this shot as it is, as a full, and then cut to the other shot, because what I plan on doing is just resetting the animation again and then have it move on. So what I'll do, let's just do a play blast and see how this looks. So let's rename this as shot 16. This one is top down run. and it's going to be called Shot 16 Top Down Run. So just to start off, let's just try and get a play blast out the way. Again, this is what I can't stand about Blender, is that the play blast and the fucking output for renders are the same. Apparently there's like an override. It's annoying. It really is. It's so annoying. They should fix this. This is one thing I think they should fix. Play blast output should be different to fucking rendering. Because so many mistakes can be had just by not changing this setting again later on. All right. I think that will do. All right, let's just do a play blast and see how this looks. I'm going to change it over to random, just so I can see things a bit clearer. And let's go to viewport animation and do a clean viewport preview. Also, I just realized that I'm rendering it to the wrong folder. Am I? No, I'm not. All right, sweet. That's good. I'm going to get rid of that little thing as well. I'll keep the lights though. Let's see. Oh, actually, her scene. All right, cool. Well, it's actually less than 4 seconds long when you think about it, because she runs off screen a bit earlier than that. That's good to know. So let's go to my folder and see how this is coming along. Let's see. So yeah, I try to keep things pretty clean. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's clean enough. All right, render. How would you space out doing a full detailed set layout? Let's say a spaceship. Would you go room by room, exterior? It depends on the shots. So if you're, I would only model what you're going to see in the camera. So if that makes sense, I would do a layout with a sketch out the layout, see where the cameras would go, and then model according to that. That's how I would do. Yeah, there should be different setups. I mean, you can do like scenes and stuff like that, but again, it's a frustrating ordeal. Did I put it in the right folder? Top down run. There we are. No, she actually looks alright when it's top down. I might tilt her body forward just to make it a bit more obvious. But not too bad, not too bad. She's moving pretty good. I like that. Yeah, the speed's fine. I like the speed of her body. That's cool. And I'm going to use a plugin called Animate to tilt her body forward a bit forward. So it doesn't have to be super accurate with her run because it's top down, but enough just so I can see. I want us to see a little bit more of a body, so just a little bit like that, and you'll see that it actually adapts the animation according to. It actually changes the animation in the graph editor. You don't see that much because where's her rotations? There it is. You can see the graph actually adapts. So this is my tip for you guys. If you want to try it, Animate, it's really good. Great for doing on-the-fly changes that affect it globally. So that looks way more, in my opinion, that looks much more readable with having her body forward like that. So what I might actually do, I just want to double check as well. Yeah, her body's moving forward. Sweet. Yeah, I would just, always plan before you model. It's like doing the real deal. Like actually build. If you're building a table, you always measure twice, cut once, sort of thing. It's the same thing with 3D. Like just sketch things out, plan things out, and you'll be much more grateful for the fact that you did it that way. So let's do another play blast and see how this is looking. Next week, I'm planning on doing a Halloween week as well. Anyone keen on that? I'm going to model a Halloween character for the live stream. So take a break from Black Curtain, do something a bit fun. Yeah, it's cool. It's really useful. I mean, people complain that it's not perfect, but come on, it's still better than nothing. It does the job for me. That's for sure. Um, how am I dealing with sliding feet in walking running cycles? Good question. It actually is very relevant to this shot. Actually, it's actually very relevant because she's basically running on a globe. The global control is moving her forward. For me, it's two things, and this is one thing I learned pretty late on in my I guess animation career, if you want to call it anything, is when you're animating a run or a walk, the contact and the movement of the feet should be linear. So when I say linear animation, the feet should not have any easing on them. And it takes a while to learn how to animate that properly. But the in this case the Z location, try and make it as linear as possible in the contact, during contact and during movement. That really helps to keep the steps planted on the spot. The other thing is when you're sliding a whole character on a using the global control, that as well has to be linear. So the linear it has to be a straight line animation, no easing. So that's another big deal. After that, it's just trial and error. Just see, depending on the rate on which your run cycle is happening, you kind of have to do that. But that's how I got it. This was just pure luck just a moment ago, animating this like planted on the ground. Pure luck in my regard. So yeah, for sure. Oh, that's cool. I got a character idea. So it's been a while since I've done a character. So I want to do a character stream. I'm gonna build a character out and then texture it and then pose it. That's the plan for next week. So I might do one every day as part of the stream next week. That's looking pretty sick. Let's have a look at the play blast again. And she's looking a lot better now. I think just by tilting her forward looks really cool. Let's have a look at the shot now as a render. I really like the Fresnel, the Fresnel, like the accidental Fresnel there. Looks sick. I really like that. It's also just the lighting of the lights of the reflecting on the wall, which looks really cool. I've been playing a lot of LA Noir lately, so I'm also being somewhat inspired by that as well. So I just want to play with that a lot. Yeah, that looks sick. I love the shadows. Cool. All right. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing that live stream next week. So yeah. Rain. Let's turn on the rain. So I have let's see what we got. This is my rain textures. This is my lightning, my fake lightning, by the way. If you're wondering what that is, that's just lightning. I'm gonna hide that away. I don't need that one. And let's see what we can do about emulating some rain. I'm gonna put that aside. I don't need the bendy rain, but I will tilt this one. You should start to see it. There it is there. So let's increase that. and play with that. Oh yeah. Light is key. Absolutely key with this sort of stuff. Light is absolutely key. With almost everything. With these shots. Definitely going to be doing that. So I'm tempted to rotate these this way, actually, and play with the angle of that. So this is the rain, by the way, in case you're wondering. So what I'm going to do is make it rotate like this. That's looking pretty cool. I'm going to do the same thing with this one here. And rotate that along Y as well. Let's see how we can go with this. The camera's pretty far up, so we also have to play with that too. Like play into that idea as well. The more I can fake things, the better, honestly. I think that's looking pretty cool. Ah, thanks. Thank you very much, Kenneth. Yeah. So, in order to even play with this even further, I'm going to save that for now. Let's see what we can do about just stretching this. If I stretch that's better. If I stretch this geometry, it's going to stretch the texture as well. So that could also help in just faking the perspective of rain falling. I may have to do a render test to see how this is coming along. But that looks cool. Let's see how this is looking. I wish I could actually preview it a bit clearer. What do you guys think? Coming along? Now the puddles. We can turn the puddles on now. Let's see where these puddles are. They're all on the ground, underneath the ground. So I just need to raise them. So I'm just going to raise them up a little bit. They're contained by an empty. Are they under sometimes you just forget what you've done to these things. So relations, not parented to anything. All right, sweet. Let's just parent them to an empty inside that control. So I'm going to make a new empty at the point of origin. Let's go to view. Ah, cheers. Thank you very much. Let's go to view. Reset the point of origin. I'm going to make a new null or empty. Let's go with the sphere for this just so I can see what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to parent everything to this empty object. That will do. That way I can bring up the puddles, make them more prevalent. Oof, that's looking pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Let's bring those puddles forward. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's looking cool. What I can do, by the way, with this is that I'm going to actually inset this whole set, select hierarchy, and not delete hierarchy, select hierarchy, and move it into another sub collection. Call it puddle group. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it just takes time to practice and learn. I'm glad it's useful. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Again, I need to find some good music to put in the background. But at the same time, I want to know that it's not overpowering anything. So what I'm going to do here with the puddle group, I'm going to create an instance to scene. It's basically going to duplicate it, but as a single group, which means I can offset that animation. So it's basically duplicating that as an instance. Unfortunately, the animation will look the same. Like the actual puddles will pretty much just look the same in terms of animation timing. So rotating this might help. I'm going to do that again, instance to scene. So you're basically creating duplicates without being able to edit them. There we go. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm wondering whether or not I need to have the puddles on the inside, like inside the. I think I'm not going to do the puddles in the gaps. I think it's better to have them all just part of the highlights of the red light. Let's duplicate this as an instance one more. Instance to scene. And I think that's looking pretty sick. Even that looks fucking cool. Jesus. All right. Oh, man. That looks cool too. As a shot, that just looks awesome. Do you reckon? Well, I made my choice. I'm not going to change my choice. It looks cool. This is just as cool, I think. This is just as cool. But yeah, undeniably, that looks cool too. Oh, gosh. All right. Let's do a render test and see how this looks. And I think this has compositor stuff in it too. So it's going to look a little bit nicer. It might take a little bit longer to render, but it has some compositing in there. Let's hope for the best. One last thing to do here. I just want to make sure that any other lights are turned off. Shouldn't the rain receive less light near the camera? Yeah, true, it would. But as a graphical narrative, like just graphically, it looks cool. So I don't care. I think it looks better to have that than not, for sure. Let's do a test. Thank you. And also, thank you for those who are watching this stream as well. I appreciate the support. Let's see how this looks. I might make a duplicate of this scene for the next shot and just, have a 16A, 16B, 16C just to make it easier on me. Let's see, it's done the render. Let's have a look at the shot. I think that looks cool. I might change the overlap there. They're overlapping a little bit there, so I will avoid the overlap there. You can see the rain's overlapping there. But I think, cheers, appreciate it. I will clean that up ever so slightly, but I think as a shot, that's coming along pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, her footsteps are off. I need to fix her remove her footsteps there as well. You can see the footsteps animating a bit early. I'll hide that away in the or delete them from the group. Yeah, but I think that's looking pretty cool. Why her clothes are overlapping? That's unfortunate, which sucks. So I have to fix that up as well. Unless there's like two meshes there overlapping. I'm not sure why that's happening. That doesn't matter though. It'll be fine. Cool. Let's just fix up those meshes. So where they're overlapping, I'm going to avoid that by grabbing this mesh and just sliding it. Boom. And this one here, same thing. Just do that like so. I could just do both at the same time as well. Just bring them down into the ground. And there we go. Do you stitch clothes or freehang with bones? With the character that I have at the moment, there's no simulation on the clothing. It's just skinned. I find that if I'm going to be doing characters like this, I like to avoid, basically avoid doing any simulation on the clothing as possible. But I suspect I will be adding some simulation to clothing in one of the shots toward the end. I'm not going to give that away though. Oh, thank you for watching, and thank you for watching my videos as well. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's always I always appreciate when people comment on my videos and stuff. So I'm glad they're useful. I'll be wrapping up in about 5-10 minutes with this video, but I think we made really good progress. Really simple little scene setup here, but I think really effective overall. I think it looks pretty sick. I'm wondering if I can get away with doing a play blast of this. With this setup at the moment. But first, one last thing I want to do is just make sure that the lights line up with the, obviously the lamps. So make sure they're lined up like so. Cool. All right. So with the animating on 2s, what I'm going to do is go to the non-linear animation tab. I'm going to stash that action. Go to modifiers, set it to stepped, and leave it on 2s. And hopefully it looks pretty cool. How do I make clothes edge flow follow the bodies? Are there any resources for learning topology techniques? My usual method is to take elements from the base mesh that you've made, extract them, and then just adapt and make sure that the edge flow is consistent with that. So that's usually how I go about doing the clothing, at least with these characters. How long did it take you to find your own style as a creative? That's one of the things I struggled with, but I've only been animating for under 2 years. In terms of animation style, I don't think I really have one. I don't consider myself to be a great animator, for one. So there's that. Animation is one of the most difficult things, I think, if not the most difficult part of any process. It's the reason why it's the hardest one to get a decent job in, because the barrier for entry is so high. The skill level is required is so high, even for junior roles, which sucks. In terms of developing a style, I think it's just about understanding your basic principles and then choosing when to break them, choosing when to not follow the rules, choosing when to stylize over doing realism, and telling yourself when to not to give up, but when to say, fuck it, I don't need to do this level of detail. That's really it. It's about balance. It's about finding that balance. And that's my takeaway for doing animation. So many times I've been like, it's a struggle between overthinking and doing what is correct, I guess you can say. And the thing is, I think the big thing is that when you watch a lot of videos about VFX animation is completely different to animation, like stylized cartoon animation, like traditional animation. VFX animation is emulating realism. So when you're seeing people talk about, doing certain levels of detail in animation, it's like testing your own sanity. It really is. It's like, fuck, do you really need to put that much detail in your animation? But if you choose to go the stylized route, you can do whatever you like. You can break it, you can play with it, you can stretch, you can do linear animation, you can add arcs, you can do whatever you want. And that's a thing that I struggle with accepting every single time I animate. It's fighting against reality. It's fighting against what I think should be done right. That's my biggest weakness. Is like, oh, it doesn't look real. It's like, does it really have to look real? I don't think so. And usually when you see critiques about animation, it's like, oh, you're not really emulating the reality of movement. I'm like, yeah, well, I chose not to. So yeah, there's that struggle. I'm gonna try and do a player blast of this with the rain. Let's see what happens. I'm not sure how good it will be or how long it will take. Oh no, it's going pretty quick. Oh, sweet. Hopefully we'll get 100 frames done with under 10 minutes. When to kit bash from freebies? Whenever you want. I'd say. When you put it this way, if you cannot be fucked modeling something that doesn't, if it's not central to the story, then why bother modeling it from scratch? That's the way to put it. Unless the character is interacting with it in a very specific manner and you need a very specific reason for it to be designed in a certain way, then you're better off just finding resources for doing it already. Like for instance, the belt buckles on Evie's clothing. I just found a model online. Fuck it, I'm not going to model that. Can't be bothered. Is there a release date for Black Curtain? Hopefully before the end of the year. I still got to get the sound design done once I've animated it. So that's another part of this. I still got to do the post-production on this as well. So there's that. But the post-production wouldn't take too long for this. I think the style already speaks for itself. So it's really about just playing with contrast. But yeah, before the end of the year, I'm hoping. I want to get the animation done before the end of November. So that will be, 2 weeks, hopefully. We'll see. And then do some sound design and some post-production, and that will give me about a month. So hopefully before Christmas, hopefully, is when I want to get it done. We are the best. Always tell yourself that lots of subpar animators get in over jobs because they can be pushed around. Yeah, I don't want to say that I don't want to say that we are the best. Never be that cocky, in my opinion. But be realistic about your skill level and be realistic about your. I'd say it's good to be realistic about how you communicate ideas as well. Communication is probably a more important skill in some cases. After Effects, hands down. I would not use Blender's composite is just too slow, and After Effects is way more flexible for post production. And even if I don't use After Effects, it's gonna be Resolve. It's one of those two: DaVinci Resolve or After Effects for sure. Yeah. The biggest thing about animation, at least if you want to work as a professional and work in full time, is it depends on where you want to get that job. So if you want to get your job in VFX, you're not going to really have a lot of time to be able to. Unfortunately, not going to have a lot of time to be able to practice your stylized stuff. You're going to have to do one or the other to get that job. That's the other thing I hate about full-time work, is that you have to make a choice if you're going to be working for big studios. Working for smaller studios, in my opinion, is much more fun because one month you might be working on something stylized, the next month you might be doing something a bit more realistic, and you can choose. It's fun. It's good in that regard. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I try to be as clear as possible with my communication. It's better to be clear. A clear and concise communicator than it is to be a incredible animator who can't talk for shit, in my opinion. If you talk things through and you're kind and you're helpful, you'll make it in the industry, in my opinion, for sure. Yeah, this is a great conversation, by the way, guys. Thank you for engaging. It's been great. We've got a few more minutes before we wrap up this, but hopefully we will get a viewport animation that looks cool. And we get to see how it animates on 2s as well. I'm looking forward to that. Panic, then procrastinate. Procrastination is the worst part of being an artist. This is why I'm forcing myself to do this stuff at 8 a.m. Otherwise, it will never get done. Texturing practice, yeah. I hate doing texturing myself. I think it's my least enjoyable part of the process. I enjoy rigging. I enjoy modeling. I enjoy animating. But part of the reason why I'm doing stylized here is because I can't stand texturing myself. Even for stylized stuff like this, there's a degree of detail that needs to be put into every shot. And it's so difficult to do everything and get everything done. It's also why I haven't done that many videos on it myself as well, because everything has to be textured. Even doing the fruit in the next video will be a pain in the ass for me, simply because, yeah, it's just, I don't find it as enjoyable. And this is a great thing about doing a play blast with, you can see here, I'm going to stop it at, oh no, she's animating away. Good. She's animating off the thing. I was worried that her shadow would stay in the shot. Seeing where the mistakes are. Yeah, the big trick with animating on 2s I've found is that you got to animate your character on 2s, but your camera on 1s, and then things start to look a lot cleaner. And that requires a plugin, or at least some sort of understanding of how to work with the camera. Because if the camera's animating on 2s with the character, it looks really janky. It does look like really janky. But if you had the camera on 1s, but the character on 2s, somehow it looks way smoother. It just looks much nicer, more polished. I don't know why. Oh, no, I'm happy to answer any of these questions for sure. Yeah, texture baking, simple bake is awesome. Almost done with the play blast. 3 more frames, and then we're just in time to wrap this video up as well. I can talk about the story. I've mentioned it in the previous stream, but yeah, to wrap it up very quickly, it's a story, and I just want to say I wrote this before the pandemic, before lockdowns existed, before quarantines existed. It's about a group of people who have been stranded on a planet for 30 years under a quarantine. And they find out how to get back to Earth, and things happen. That's basically the plot of the story. Oh, that looks sick. All right, yep, I'm happy with that. All right, that looks sick. I'm really happy with that. We did a lot of work in the last hour. I am happy with that. But yeah, really happy with the results we've got today. I think that looks awesome. I'm going to put this into my Premiere and see how this looks this evening. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with what we've done today. Anyway, I got to wrap this up. I got work, so I'll chat to you guys tomorrow. I'll probably be on the stream tomorrow morning, so I'll see you guys then. We've got plenty of stuff to do. Thanks for joining in this morning. It's been a lot of fun. Cheers. Where is the